Hi muckers, welcome to my second channel. Okay, today's video is going to be like all over the place and insane. I need to get my shoes off first. Today has been hectic. I just got in from the vets this second and I'm filming on my iPhone because we'll get to it. So in here is little Milo. I don't know if you can see him. Hello. Hello. There he is right there. Hi. And at the top it says, I don't know if you can see this, but it says care for Milo McIntyre. So if you're like, what happened? Milo has been at the vets for the past 3-4 days, 3 nights. And I need to let him out first and then we'll get to it. I just got a new litter box on the way home. I've missed you so much. I've missed you so much. I missed you. Look at your little paw. Oh, your back end is so dirty. Is that... Okay, it's all pissed, yes. Look at your little bandage. Do you want to go into the litter tray? Oh my god, I've missed you. Okay, so if you're wondering what has happened, how are you doing? You have been through it. So, hi. You say hi. So, if you don't know, Milo is the little kitty that I just got. And, yeah, he's been at the vet. He had to be taken into urgent care 4 days ago. And this is my first time seeing him in 4 days. Hi. I missed you. So let me tell you what happened. A couple days ago, he just randomly was sick everywhere, diarrhea, and he was just like a mess. And he's such a clean kitten that it was just so like surprising to me and like, hi. And just so not like him, especially for such a clean cat and a kitten. And then he started following me around the apartment and aggressively meowing at me. And I mean aggressively meowing at me, like he was not happy. He's like spreading out right now. Hi. Yeah, he was aggressively meowing at me and I knew something was off with him. And then comparing him to Tyler, he was definitely a way off. Then he started explosive excretions of body fluids. And I called my vet back home because the animals have only got registered over here in the UK. Hi. 2 days ago, Tyler hears him. And so they were like, he needs to go into quarantine. Tyler hears him and he's missed him so much. I just need to allow him a second here on his own. And he was in quarantine. Tyler's going insane, but he isn't allowed out to see him right now because Milo needs a second just in the litter tray. I need to just, keep him here for a second. So they were both in quarantine in my bathroom. The 2 cats, because I was trying to figure out, if there was an issue with both of them or whatever like that. So they were in there for kind of like half a day, and it was just awful. Like he was so sick. And then when I called my vet up again, they were like, okay, now that you know it's him, keep him in his own area, allow the other cat, to free roam again. I'll allow you out in a second. Actually, let me, you know what, you can come right now. Come on, but you need to stay in here. Look at this. You wanna say hi to him? Oh my god. Oh, he's your brother. Did you miss him? Did you miss him? Hi. His little bandage. So cute. I needed to have him in his own like quarantine area to check up on if he was. I'm just gonna I really need you in here to make sure he was eating and drinking, and he wasn't. And then I called up an emergency. It was around 10 p.m. Or no, actually it was probably like 11 p.m. And I called up an emergency vet in Brighton, and I went, hey, my animals are not registered here yet. They're going to be on Tuesday, like they're booked in to get their first vaccinations and all like this. This is, I need to describe what's happening. I described everything, and then they were like, okay, can you see what color gums he has? And he had really white gums. And then they were like, can you compare it to your other cat? And he has very pink gums. And they were like, you need to bring this cat in to us right now. So I brought him in, and they did a bunch of like tests on him while I was there. And then they said they needed to keep him overnight because he was very underweight. Now, he is a very small, tiny kitten, and he's the same age as this huge one. You know what I mean? He's a Maine Coon, so he's obviously going to be bigger, and he's a smaller breed. But they were still alarmed that he was very underweight. Oh my god. Look at the size difference, you know what I mean? You don't look over. He's just so happy to see his brother again. So then they started doing tests on him, and they were like, we're going to need to keep him in because, you know, the diarrhea and the throw up. So they kept him in, and it was so scary. They told me that they were going to do a test for HIV, a test for his blood sugar, a test for cancer, a test for parasites, a test for all these worms, a test for, like, it was the scariest list I was being told that they thought that this could be. And they told me that I needed to stay awake. At this time it was midnight. They told me I needed to stay awake until 8 a.m. And if I got a call between now and 8 a.m., it means that they don't think he's going to make it. And when I'm being told that, I'm like sobbing at this vet's. I'm like, you know, what do you mean, like, you know, I'm gonna get a call that like he might not make it? Like, what does that mean? And then they are going through the records of his history, and they're like, he's a 10-week-old cat, and we have no history of him getting wormed, getting, you know, all these things that kittens need, like kitten care, that the previous owners should have done, you know, like that protect his insides, and basically like before the vaccinations, you know what I mean, to make sure that his system is healthy and safe. And it seems like he never got that for some reason from the previous owner. So then they kept him in. They didn't call me, or they actually did call me twice between 8 a.m., but it wasn't to say it was like there was a big problem. It was to just say that, you know, he's in an incubator. He was in an incubator for the first 2 days, and on IV drips, on like food drips, like glucose, like blood, something drip, to get like blood flow. What else was there? There was like something else. I really do need you to stay in here just while I film this so I can keep an eye on you. Good boy. All these different tests. And then, however, okay, he's going to the bathroom, I think. So every day there was more tests needed. They needed to test his blood. They needed to do all these different things, and they were just very concerned that the previous owners seemingly did not take much action with him, which was then leading him to be underweight, and maybe he had, you know, parasites, maybe not. Tyler has been fully, you know, all of that has been sorted with him, which is why he's completely fine and was never affected. But then again, it could just be a shock to his system, you know, moving and stuff, and the previous owners may have done that, but they were just suggesting that they have no records, so they're led to believe that, you know what I mean, which sucks and is disgusting. And it's just been the worst. Hi. It's been the worst 3-4 days. I have not slept. I have I see you and I missed you. And I missed you. I have not been sleeping. I have been like overeating due to stress. I have been literally like manic. Like I've been like, my animal is not in my control anymore. I have no control whether my animal is going to live, and there's nothing I can do about it. I have been so scared and so anxious an unbelievable amount the past 3 days that I am so exhausted. But I'm just so happy that, like, you know, his little body is still going through it. Today was one of the roughest days. He had all of these drips in him, and they did a blood test on him, which is why he has this little cute bandage. And it's like, he's been through hell. Like, how dare I complain? You know what I mean? But like, you know what I mean whenever I'm saying that. But like, it's just been so awful. And I genuinely, like, there was a part of me that just didn't think he was gonna make it. And I just sat and cried, and I was like, it's like something that's so out of my control. And so obviously we have him here, and yes, he's so cute. But I do just want to say one thing, and I kind of tweeted about this, and I want to follow on the point. When you get an animal, you have the cost of the animal to buy it or adopt. You have their food, you have their keeping them happy and healthy, all those costs, food, litter, whatever like that. People overview vet bills, health bills, emergency costs for animals because they're like, oh, like, it's probably not going to happen or whatever. Or it's just so like, oh, it's like, why would I have to think about that before it ever happened? Let me tell you something. Whenever getting my animals, people love to be like, oh my god, he has so many animals like that. I have never gotten an animal and have not thought about, am I able to afford this animal? Am I able to afford if something goes wrong? If it needs emergency surgery? If it needs, you know, like, all my animals are now insured. And they have pet insurance and life cover and stuff. But like, when they didn't, I was like, do I have enough money? That goes for Bonnie as well. Bonnie is a French bulldog, and that's a lot of money. And it goes to show that on the 3-4 days ago, I did not plan on taking him to the emergency vet because I didn't know anything was going to happen. And you can imagine, whenever I have a perfectly healthy cat in the morning, and then at night I'm at the emergency vet and I'm being charged thousands of pounds for all of these surgeries and tests, and that was completely unexpected. And it's like, thankfully, luckily, I always ensure that I have money there in my account in case of emergencies. And I do just want to say that if you are getting a pet, this is the reality. I don't see many people talking about it. Pets are temperamental. They can fall sick immediately, and you need to, it's your responsibility. They're not going to pay for it. And I was like, and then a part of me was like, what would have happened if I wasn't able to afford the thousands of, you know, pound in like surgeries that he got and tests that he got, and staying in the overnight in the vet. I didn't get a say that he had to stay there for like 3 days. They didn't let me decide that. They decided that. And each time that was a couple hundred more pound. And it's like, what would have happened if I didn't have that money? Would I just have to like say like, hey, I can't do this, and what happens to him? It's like, thankfully I don't have to think about that. But like, my stress, my inner voice is like think about that. And I'm like, how many cats or how many animals are like that? You know, where it's like, because it is hard to set aside, you know, a certain amount of money whenever there's something not even happening, or you have a perfectly healthy animal. And here's the thing, he was perfectly healthy. It dropped like that. So I know a lot of people have been concerned. Most of my YouTube audience would not have even known because I hadn't put it on YouTube because I didn't want to stress people, even though I was so stressed. I put it on Twitter though. So this is an update that he is now in recovery. Basically, they came to the conclusion that he is still very underweight. He is, like, baby boy. I'm so tired that I can't even think of the words. He's, like, deficient, if like, lacking many, like, nutrients and lacking many, like different things about his body, like, in his, like, system. It's just, like, so they had him on a drips giving him all those things, so he now has them. And so I can't imagine how his body feels right now because he got so much. And thankfully they were able to get all that into him. So basically I need to take this bandage off of him, which I'll do in a second. And I have a bunch of medicine that he has to get. Just making sure that there's no information on this. No, it's not. So they've given me this food. It's like a food for, like, animals that's really easy on their system because he needs that right now. Procolin. It helps his gut and it firms up his shits. Nice. And then Panicure for, like, worms and parasites, and some, like, other, like, important thing that he needs. And then I have, like, instructions and syringes, and it's like, oh my god, like, the stress when it's, like, you know, all on you and it's all your animal, and it's like, it's a lot, and I just wanted to, like, come on here and show that, like, having animals is not all cute kitty, cute dog, you know what I mean? There's a struggle there, and there's a reality behind it, and being a pet owner, it's so much fun and it's so rewarding. But also, Tyler, you did that for what? When stuff like this happens, it can be devastating, stressful, exhausting. Like, I'm just happy that he's okay. I'm happy that you're okay. My good boy. You happy to be back home? Not in an incubator anymore with your brother? So, I love you all. I'm going to start his medicine treatment right now. I hope you're all well. Please send him your best, Milo. He has a lot of recovery to still do. And a lot of treatment to get through. I would really appreciate it. Look at his paw. I love you all. Stay safe, stay well. Hopefully I can sleep better now that, like, stop, that's not for you. I can sleep better now that, like, he's back home. I think it was just the fact that, like, I didn't know if he was going to survive, and I didn't know if he was, like, gonna come home. I didn't know if I was going to see him again. I didn't know if, like, he wasn't at the apartment, so, like, he wasn't in my control, and it was stressful. I mean, I don't think I need to describe why that's stressful. Tyler is very interested in the medicines that are going on here. Okay, so I'm going to end this video off. I hope you're all thriving, and bye. He's excited. Bye.